if I don't file that down and I just cover over it, because of the nature of how the Genesis and Gemini paints work with layers and being so translucent like and being able to see the under layers, all I'm going to do is just retain the same scratch damage marks on the underneath layers. It's just still going to show through. So that's why I think drilling, not drilling, gently filing this down smooth and then adding back like some more, adding back the lid that she needs, and it won't take very much. So that's why that's the stage that I can't decide on what to use, is whether it be gel or just straight Gemini thick medium or clay to fill in the eyelid. And I know that it's not exactly the same as how this looks. It doesn't have the same amount of lines, but I can still try to duplicate it on that side and mix in colors beforehand with the medium that I'm going to use to fill it with. So when I do bake it and finalize it at the last layers, the flaws underneath that were repaired will not show nearly as much as if I just straight up fill it in. You know what I mean? Like, I need to file it down, add the color, fill it in, add more color again to match with the rest of the face. That's a challenge. All of that's a challenge I'm willing to take. I'm willing to meet that challenge. I just can't decide on what's the right medium to use after the file down process. And so I'd rather not touch it at all and wait until I know for sure which is the best medium I should use for this repair. I think I can do it. I just want to decide on which is the right one to use. So if you guys want to tell me, if anybody knows what is the best way to go about, go ahead and let me know. I'm willing to wait. I don't want to wait too long. If I don't find out what would be the best method, I might just go ahead and just dive in and get to it. But because I have all these other projects, all these other to-do tasks, she is still going to wait regardless. So, and since I never rooted her head, it'll be easy to rebake her like with the new layers. I think she needs to get maybe like just a few more flesh layers. I don't want to change the lips, the face. I don't really want to change much, but I do want to cover up the modeling. I think it was a little overdone to just leave it the way it is. I want to add more flesh layers, and then I'm still going to leave her bald because it's like she's so perfect to me that I felt like any rooting or hair that I give her will make her less perfect. I don't know if anybody can relate to that or not, but as somebody who loves, I don't love to root, but I love the results of my rooting, and I take pride in that, and I'm proud of my ability to root and give a doll a really good head of hair. I could even spend all the time in the world and doing one single hair per poke and give her a very nice full head of hair. But because she's just such a perfect little doll and I just love this sculpt, anything that I do, because I don't feel like I'm the best by any means. I feel like I would rather wait until I'm even better at my skills and maybe later on in the future give her hair than give her my current skill set, if that makes sense. So I'm leaving her bald. But she is so cute. Oh, I forgot, I just got a new boppy for putting the dolls on for resting the dolls on. Let me go get that. If I could get one more of this kit to do a redo of this, then I could sell this as a boo-boo baby after I fix her, and then keep the other one that I make. But right now, any ones that are being sold, they're just out of my budget range right now. So that's another reason why I'm keeping her, because even though I would have liked to make another one and keep that instead, this is my current option right now. I think I would buy another Esme kit if I could get one for under $300, and if I can afford to spend that much right now, which I can't. But when I can, that's my budget. And maybe that's asking for too much, because right now, anybody who is selling, there's like a couple people on eBay and 1 or 2 people on another site, and they're all a little bit out of my price range right now. But I would really love to have been able to get another one of these. I have made 1 or 2 other of these before, but I sold them. And I didn't know that when I stopped reborning dolls about 10 to 14 years, it's been between 10 and 14 years, because there was a few that I did towards the end. The last, like, let's see, 13 years ago, I did a couple dolls, and then that was done after that. But I think she was made, like, my youngest was born in 2011, and I quit by 2015. I was pretty much done. And I know that when he was about not even a year old was when I was working on this. So whenever she first came out, I put her on put them on pre-order. I think I got like 2 or 3 kits at the time, and then sold the other ones, and this was the last one I had. And that's but it was whenever they were currently being sold, like brand new, was when I reborn her. I know that because it was like I did the other 2 and then I did this one. So whatever year that was, it could have been 2012, it could have been 2013. I think it was somewhere around that time frame. So she's just going to stay in this box for now until I can get to that. And then the last thing on the list, this doll was made before or after, where is it at? Before or after this one. She was a project between my daughter and I that we went in together on painting and reborning, and I let her help me paint this, or I helped her, however way you look at it. My memory's a little foggy on all that. I know I did the eyebrows, and I left her bald because she had, I don't know if I was just going to sell her bald or I just hadn't gotten to rooting her yet. She ended up getting put on the back burner like the other doll that was made right before or after this, and she ended up being forgotten about. But I'm not going to strip her, but I'm going to add a few more layers of paint, however many it's going to take, to soften up the modeling that she does have. It's not that bad, but to just kind of freshen her up. And this is the one I was thinking that the other doll was the one I was thinking that had the body that needs to be replaced, but then I realized it wasn't. It was actually this one, because it had it's got a little stain right here, because in the box that I went and got that had my photography supplies, like blankets, some outfits I used for my reborn dolls for their photography photo shoots, random miscellaneous supplies. These dolls were in that box, and I don't know how a lollipop got in there, but it was I guess it melted on that. So that's what it's from. It was like a little dum-dum. It was like root beer flavor, but I threw that away, cleaned out the box, everything. Glad that didn't get on anything else. But this body's going to be replaced. And when she gets a new body, she's going to have all new, she's going to be reweighted and everything. New fresh paint over the top of her existing paint. So that way it doesn't take away from the love that was put into this between me and my daughter. And then I will give her hair. I'll probably paint the hair. Probably not root it. And since the original agreement was to sell it, That's what, and then give the money to my daughter. That's what I'm going to do, is she's going to get the money from selling it. But this doll is going to be completely refreshed, redone, all that good stuff. New hair. I don't, this dent right here, it was stuffed in the box. Something was up against it. It smashed the head. Typically, when you stick the head back in the oven for baking, if it has been misshapen, it does go back to its original shape. So I think that it'll be fine. I think it will like self-fix itself. I think it will be fixed as far as that goes, and there won't be a dent. There may be a line from that dent after the head gets rebaked and it gets reshaped again. There might still be that line there, but I can, it probably won't be as bad. It probably will not be as bad as we think it will be. I really think that that can be fixed. And if not, the hair will cover it up and she'll be sold as a boo-boo baby because of that happening to it. And having to refresh it and it being an older doll and it never being sold and everything that's involved, basically. So with all that said, it is going to be a budget baby. I'm going to try to do my best to fix this one. And when whatever money that I make, because that was the original agreement, she probably doesn't even remember because she was little at the time. And she's grown now. But whatever I make off this doll, I told her I was going to give her the money. So whatever this doll sells for, I'm going to give the money to my daughter. Because I feel like I owe her that. Because that was what the original agreement was back then. And I'm going to stick to that. Oh, one last thing. This is one of the kits that I was going to start on originally. Whew, goodness, I cannot open this up in this room. Oh, the smell is so bad. This is baking soda or baking powder, baking soda. And I thought that would help neutralize the smell. I might have to try coffee grounds next. Maybe even bake it outside, which the ovens are outside. I don't even bake inside anyway, but bake it outside. Maybe that will get the smell out. But I bought this kit off eBay. It's an Olive by Denise Pratt. Sold out kit already, or discontinued. Full limbs. I thought she was as cute as can be. I wanted to start on this one around the same time that I started on the Tegan. But when it came in the mail, I'm telling you, the cigarette smoke is so bad that I did a search online to see like what would be the best way to neutralize the smell. And I thought the baking soda for a few days would work. It's been a couple of weeks and I can still smell the cigarette smoke. So I'm going to have to do something different because I don't want the smell to permeate into the rest of the room or on the other dolls or anything like that. I don't smoke. I don't smoke in the house. I don't smoke at all. My dolls don't smell that way, and I don't want anything that this touches or is around getting smell on anything else. So it's just been sitting in here in this box, hoping that I thought the smell would go away from the, you know, from the stuff that I put in it, but it's not worked. So I'm going to have to try something else to try to get rid of the cigarette smell before I can even start painting this doll. And that's why I didn't want to store it out in the open, and I have it in this closed container too. She's so cute. I really wanted to work on her, but that's what's getting in the way right now. I even put this bag with the body in here. I might have to just put the body through the wash. Like, it didn't really smell like cigarettes on the body. It's just mainly the kit because the body was in the bag. But I put it in here just in case. I hate that, but I really wanted the kit, and I'm so glad I have it, but that sucks that it smells like that. I'm going to have to just figure out a way to neutralize that smell, and if I can't, maybe I can just resell it to somebody else who doesn't mind that smell. But I really don't want to have to do that. The very last thing that I need to do for the Charlemagne kit. This is Annalise. That was what she was renamed. The very last thing I need to do is get her magnet out and reposition it. Over the last 12 to 13 years, that magnet has shifted over to the side. And I have since learned about using a different type of glue that will help. There's a method and a different kind of glue that for putting the magnets in and keeping that from happening again. I've got it saved on my phone. I forgot like all the details, but I need to order that other type of glue and start doing that with any dolls that do not have magnets going forward. I'm going to use that new kind of glue and use that new method that supposedly is supposed to be better for preventing the magnet from shifting over the years. It took a really long time for that to happen. So, and there are actually some dolls that the magnets never have shifted, but this one did. So it might have been because of the way it is on the inside. I don't know, but that's one thing I need to work on for that is moving her magnet.